Imagine you found your dream home, the one you spent years searching for. Tree-lined streets, old charm, a peaceful neighborhood where children ride their bikes in slow motion against the golden light of dusk. Now imagine that, days after moving in, a letter arrives. Not a bill, not a welcome note, but a warning. Dear new neighbor, it begins. I've been watching you, 657 Boulevard in Westfield, New Jersey. A house meant to be a sanctuary, turned overnight into a stage for obsession and dread. It wasn't haunted by ghosts, but by words. Anonymous letters that seemed to breathe with menace, written by someone calling themselves the Watcher. What followed would become one of the eeriest unsolved mysteries in modern suburbia, a story that blurs the line between paranoia and possibility, between safety and illusion. The story begins in 2014. Derek and Maria Broaddus, a couple with 3 young children, had just bought the house of their dreams, a stately 6-bedroom colonial worth over $1 million, built in 1905, brimming with history. But before the family could even move in, the first letter arrived. It didn't start with a name, but a tone. Polite, curious, unsettlingly intimate. The writer said they had been in charge of watching 657 Boulevard for decades, a duty, they explained, passed down through generations. They asked strange questions. Who would sleep in the bedrooms upstairs? Did the children play in the yard yet? Then, the letter ended with a kind of dreadful affection. Welcome to the neighborhood. To the Broaddus family, it wasn't just strange, it was terrifying. And when a second letter arrived, it was clear. This was no prank. The writer knew details only visible from close observation: the color of the family's minivan, the names of the children, even where they planned to hang certain paintings. The letters seemed almost ritualistic, filled with old-fashioned phrasing, nostalgic references, and an obsession with the house itself. Not the people living in it, but the building, as if it were a living being. The house, the Watcher wrote, is crying from all the secrets within. Westfield was the kind of town where neighbors waved from manicured lawns and everyone claimed to know each other. Now, it was a town where suspicion grew like ivy, creeping across fences, seeping through blinds. Derek and Maria installed cameras, contacted the police, even hired private investigators and forensic experts. One investigator, a former FBI agent, described the letters as written by someone deeply fixated, perhaps socially isolated, but intelligent. Their language oscillated between anger and admiration, as though the writer both hated and desired the home. And while the letters never contained direct threats of violence, their power came from implication, from the way they made you imagine what might happen next. The investigation led nowhere. The police questioned previous owners, neighbors, mail carriers. One man across the street was caught suspiciously sitting in his car at night, staring in the direction of the house. But nothing connected him to the letters. Another neighbor's children had written dark stories for fun. Still, there was no proof. DNA lifted from one envelope revealed it might belong to a woman, but beyond that, nothing. The Watcher could have been anyone: a neighbor, a prankster, someone who once lived there, someone who never left, even if only in spirit. As the letters continued, the Broaddus family became prisoners of fear. They couldn't sell the home easily. Who would buy a house haunted by paranoia? They couldn't move in either, not with their children's names now written by a stranger who claimed to be waiting for them. Each new envelope brought a chill. Each day of silence became a louder kind of torment. The house didn't feel like theirs. It belonged to the Watcher. And here's where the story fractures, between what's known and what's believed. Some in Westfield whisper that there was no Watcher, that the Broaddus family invented the letters, an elaborate hoax to escape financial strain after buying a home beyond their means. The theory spread. Maybe Derek wrote them himself, subconsciously drawn to the drama. Maybe Maria, who struggled with anxiety, fabricated it under stress. But every investigation, every forensic test, failed to support those claims. The police never named them suspects officially. And so, we're left in that uneasy middle ground, where truth and imagination blend into fog. Years passed. Netflix turned the story into a dramatized series. The real owners finally sold the house at a loss. New occupants moved in and no new letters arrived. 7 Boulevard fell quiet, or at least it seemed to. What made this story viral wasn't just its strangeness, it was its familiarity. The watcher wasn't a shadow in a distant city or some monster under the bed. It was a threat hiding inside the ordinary, inside the suburban promise that a house is safety. But safety, perhaps, is the most fragile illusion of all. The story forces us to ask something uncomfortable. What does it mean to watch? And what does it mean to be watched? Maybe the watcher was real, a person obsessed with a home that had become their anchor in a changing world. Or maybe the watcher was a reflection of us, our collective fear of exposure, our growing paranoia in an age when everyone is visible from somewhere. I think about Derek and Maria sometimes, looking out through those tall windows, wondering if an unseen pair of eyes was returning the gaze. I think about the house itself, how it still stands there on Boulevard, beautiful, silent, timeless. Maybe the watcher never stopped watching, maybe we just stopped listening.